Moneyweb now on the money.
Sitting now with Paula Quincy. She's a relationship expert, and we've all heard the FOMO phrase, right? Fear of missing out, and I think that's what we've been seeing a bit in our banking stocks in the last couple of days. But here we're going to be talking around FOGO, fear of going out. Paula, morning, appreciate the time. Lockdown's been lifting. We had even more restrictions lifted from our president last night. This is good news, and it feels great. We can go out again, we can do more. But truthfully, for a lot of people, it is scary. There is a fear of going out and sort of mixing. And we need to, as a society, as businesses, be very cognizant of this reality.
Morning, yes, absolutely. You know, the biggest thing that underlies that is fear, and fear is driven by the unknown elements. And right now there's so many unknown factors with this pandemic, and we're all going through different emotions and experiencing it in different ways, and we process it differently. There definitely is, some people are just suffering from the fatigue of it all, but there's definitely a pocket that are, on the other side of the spectrum where they do have a real fear of going out.
And it's not a simple, like, oh, come on, grow up, don't be. We need to take this into account. And if you're leadership, you need to be empathetic and engage. It's for a lot of leaders, this is a completely new space we're in. But we need to sit with staff and say, how can we help? How can we make this environment and experience, frankly, less scary?
Absolutely. We are seeing a new type of leadership come in, holistic and empathetic leadership. Before, we used to manage people in the traditional 9-to-5 sense, but now we're actually managing people in their homes because people are working from home. And so we're seeing them in a whole new light in terms of their home environment and responsibilities and stuff. And the fear of, coming back and being exposed to the virus with companies opening up again, people fearful of, am I going to come back and infect my family, children going to school again. So the only thing that you can do is really, you can't communicate more than, you have to communicate and communicate. You cannot over-communicate when it comes to staff and customers about the steps that you've taken to reassure them of their safety.
And one of the points you make then, and this is no longer a 9-to-5 management, and with respect to a lot of management out there, it was a sort of rigid top-down, as you say, that 9-to-5. This needs to be an acceptance that this is not one size fits all. This is not about rigidity. It needs to be flexible. And again, I come back to that phrase, it needs to be empathetic.
Absolutely. And this is where leaders have the opportunity to actually engage with their staff and get their input as to what would work for them. There is no one size fits all. So what would the majority, what would work for the majority, and where can they make some exceptions or have flexibility? And when staff feel like their voices are heard and that their contribution is being valued, it creates more loyalty and trust in the organization and leadership.
That was actually the point I was going to come to next, which is, it's sort of unintended consequences. If management does this right, engages properly, really talks and listens to staff, a organization could actually come out of this a much better, a much stronger organization.
Absolutely, because when staff feel secure in their roles and their positions, they are more productive and creative and innovative, but you also have an opportunity to attract future talent to the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been talking internal organizations. Of course, there's the customer facing, and the customers are having these same levels of fear of going out. And it's around, I've been getting invited to events left, right, and center, and they all say to me, strict COVID protocols. They're kind of being glib about it. They're not really actually sort of, again, being empathetic, properly engaging with their potential customers. And there is, an opportunity here to really go that extra mile and to stand out as a customer service.
You're absolutely correct. With the technology that we're all using and being exposed to these days, it gives organizations an opportunity to let customers into their business, into the heart of it, and to see the processes and steps that they've taken and how they are operating to ensure customer safety.
Yeah, and it comes back to what we said right up front, is this is not something that we can just sort of brush away. You can't just say sort of, be strong, etc. And the next point is that it really is opportunities here, but I think for a lot of managers, they're finding it difficult. In truth, we need to support that management in the same process because they're in completely new and uncharted territory.
Absolutely, and this is where, people were talking about it during extreme lockdown, where we need to upskill ourselves and reskill ourselves and develop different skill sets. And a new way of leadership and managing people is one of those key skills we're all having to learn at the moment.
Yeah, it is. And fear of going out. We live in... It's a new normal. It's not even a new normal. It's a completely and absolutely new reality that we need to get used to. Paula Quincy, she's a relationship expert. You'll find her at Paula Quincy website, .co.com. I need to check that quickly. .com. Really appreciate your time this morning, Paula.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.